Well, I'm trying to get back to work. Start with this little acoustic. We are staying out at my mom's, out in the suburbs. They have not lost power out here. Apparently Memphis got it worse than any other American city as far as power outages. And it may be a week before I'm fully back up and running, but I'm gonna go out later and get a bunch of my stuff and set up shop in the garage and maybe a kitchen table at times here, and do some of the more basic stuff I need to get done on amps where I don't need to use the scope, I don't need to use a signal generator, I don't need a whole bunch of esoteric tools. I can do an awful lot with just a soldering iron and a meter. But I've not gotten that stuff out yet. I had this acoustic waiting to get finished for a buddy of mine, and the new saddle just arrived yesterday. So this is his D'Angelico. It's about a $300 guitar, I think, $300-400, maybe a little bit less. I think his girlfriend gave it to him. He's a gigging musician, and he's got a really nice Gibson, I think a Hummingbird or a Dove, but there are places you don't want to take a really nice Gibson, and this D'Angelico with the cutaway was really a convenient thing for him to have for casual gigs, solo gigs, you know, stuff where he needs to do some electric stuff, some acoustic stuff. It's got really lightweight strings, it's got the cutaway, it's got a very thin neck like you'd find on an electric. I'm pretty sure Cort makes this line for D'Angelico. But this guitar had some woes. The nut was cut way too high, so all the cowboy chords were sharp and nasty sounding. I'll show that. It's all been ironed out by lowering the nut slots and widening the nut slots. Even though it had 10 through something strings on here, they were still binding at the factory slots. So I got that set up, and I got a lot of the relief out of the neck. It had a lot of bow to it, and everything was getting good, and I was getting the saddle dialed in. I guess you can't really see the saddle here. Saddle dialed in, but the under saddle piezo broke, and it's a Cort one, and it was really amazingly cheap. I replaced it with one from Guitar Fetish. I think it was about $12. So a higher quality piezo under saddle was $12. But at that point, the old saddle wasn't making good contact with the low E portion of the piezo. So this string was much lower in volume than the others. It just, the saddle itself had a little raised portion down at that end. And because there wasn't any height left to the saddle, I couldn't sand it down flush or shim it or anything. So it was better to replace it with a new saddle. And this is one I got from Tusk. I measured the dimensions, and this only required very minimal filing to get it to the right height. He likes an almost electric action on this guitar because he likes to be able to cover a lot of territory, and it's not about the unplugged sound. But I'm pretty happy with the tuning stability and intonation now for a relatively inexpensive guitar. Starting capo here at the 5th fret. That's pretty good. It's down, open up like up to the 5th fret. I've got a Page capo, which I love on my Gibson and my Eastman Martin copy. It's a HD 28 copy, but it doesn't work so well on this Cort D'Angelico with the volute. But for right now, a little bit out just because I sweetened the tuning for the 5th fret. It's not the same thing as intonation. Mostly it's new strings. Because this Page capo doesn't really move the strings side to side as it tightens. But that amount of tuning sweetening, if you change from a 5th fret to open to no capo, that's pretty good. Very lightweight strings, very tiny neck, and I feel like I'm playing someone else's guitar. But anyway, the low stuff now is in tune. And if I capo down there, it should still be pretty close to being in tune. The page is much faster typically to set than other capos, but it's not if you have a neck with a volute, because you got to loosen it so much to get it out of the way. So this would not be my capo of choice on this guitar. I think he's got a Kaiser or a Shub. So that's good. Let's see how it does if I slide on up to the 7th fret, which is a real problem area for a lot of acoustics. Let's see, something appropriate for the weather. So I think overall, for an inexpensive electric acoustic, for gigs where he doesn't want to take the big Gibson, he'll be very happy with this. I messed up. There it is. Sorry, I'm so used to doing this without the capo. Don't want to get blocked, so I'll stop right there.